Yes, welcome to this weekly outlook. So this past week, the market has actually been very volatile. We've been having some serious moves, and that just to continue from there, uh, just look at one of our pairs who we'll be looking at. So let's go to the monthly because we have the monthly candle has already closed. So looking at EURUSD on the monthly candle, this is how we are. So the obvious level, of course, we have this support level down here. This is the overall support as all-time low, okay, even if you look at it on the bigger time frame. So this is the overall low of the market. So what do we usually do when the market reaches an all-time low? There is a tendency for it to break and then maybe push back up. So once we have this on the monthly, we realize market has actually, this is a high. This has when we had the pullback because of these support areas, market was able to push all the way up to here. So now we have our high and then our low from the monthly perspective. But of course, there is another mini support area here. So these are the things we shall begin to look at, whether price can actually break these lows before it can pull back. All right, so looking at that on the weekly, this is what we have on the weekly. So last week we had a long push to the downside, whereby price was not able to reach to these previous highs. And then from here, we had a turn in which price came. So now this is what we are looking at. So we just want to trade properly and in the right way when you know exactly what to do. So we have price approaching a very good key level. Will this be where we shall have a pullback into this? That's what we shall begin to see. So this is what we have on EURUSD. Then going on to another pair, which is gold. But before we can actually go into gold, we can look at another Swiss pair because it is always important to look at these other pairs complementary, makes the work easier. So looking at it from the monthly time frame, we have CADCHF. So this is how it is looking. So we have our low here, which is our all-time low. And then we have this area, which is the break of structure. We have market breaking below this. So when we come to the weekly, this is what we have. So on the weekly, this area, we had a break and then they retested. So we had support, and then the support was broken, support became a resistance. So we have our resistance area, and then we also have another support area down here. So when we look at this on the daily, this is what we had. The same way, this was our previous low. So we had a strong break into this low, and then market broke back up and went there. So now we have this another low, where we shall begin to see possibly another break into this, and then we can head up here. The same thing with the EURUSD. So you can look for other Swiss pair. So, but these two are enough. So let's go into gold. So again, looking at gold from the monthly perspective, this is actually very, very interesting. So we have gold reaching to all-time highs. This has always been our all-time highs because of various reasons. So now gold is here at an all-time high. So we have resistance, which has been, this area has held price 1, 2, now for the third time. I mean, yeah, for the fourth time here. So once we have this, what do we expect? Maybe there would be some break out into this and then break back inside. You know what price usually does. The same way we analyzed CADCHF and then EURUSD, that is what we shall be expecting, because this is the high. Gold has never gone past this high in a long time. So once we have that, we know exactly we shall be waiting for some selling opportunities, but maybe the sell we would want is after a false breakout and then break back inside. That's when we can be very comfortable to sell. So however, where should we sell up to first? So we have an area of structural break here. So this is possibly where we shall sell maybe up to, with the hope that price will come and retest this level to either continue or break back inside. So this is what we have on gold, as simple as that. So waiting for a fake out here to sell. Okay. With that being said, let's go for DXY. So the dollar index, will actually be able to tell us the movement of the dollar. So again, looking at it from the monthly perspective, what do we have? We have a strong area, a strong break. We had this resistance, because price went up and broke back inside, and now we have a break of structure here. So, and then we have our overall support down here. So these are the levels we have based on the monthly perspective. So we want to see a pullback possibly into these areas as price is heading all the way down here. So this is what we have. When we come to the daily, this is what we have on the daily. Yeah, so overall, it's telling us the dollar is actually looking very weak. But should anything happen, then we shall expect some pullbacks into this region. Otherwise, we are targeting these support areas down here. Okay. All right. So with that, let's look at Euro USD just to understand the whole game, how complementary, because this one tend to be able to move almost on the same path. So the monthly candle closed. So we had our previous support levels down here, and now we have our resistance up here. So, and then we have an area of break of structure where we had our previous support here. We had our previous, which was support here, and then it became broken through, became a resistance, and now it is. So this is an area whereby support is becoming a resistance, and then resistance is becoming support. So should there, we would expect some pullback into this region to continue upward. So let's look at the weekly. So on the weekly, this is again what we have, almost another structural break around here, meaning if there is any pullback that is going to happen, we would actually pull back into these areas before we can continue to this all-time resistance. So again, looking at it from the daily, this is what we shall have. So right now, price is looking like it will pull back into this region, but of course that will depend on how this level is broken. So if this is broken, then we can definitely say we could have price returning or coming to retest this before we can actually head all that up. So that's what we have on this. Yeah. So these are some of the good pairs we're actually looking at. And then maybe to round it up with a couple of JPY pairs, we can look at the GJ and see how it has been moving and what is our position on it. And then maybe look at the one more JPY pair. So GJ on the monthly, we clearly know that this is our monthly high. Okay, so this one is just the same. So if I'm to bring it here, you realize this is the same resistance we have here where price is actually reacting off from. And then we have an area of structural break of this. Okay, and then we have our demand area here. So going into the weekly to be able to understand how it is moving. So on the weekly, we have an area of structural break here, and then it has not yet been retested. So we have area of support. We have support and then support here. So when we come to the daily, what do we want to see? So these are the areas in which we want to wait for price to be able to come to around here and then maybe here. So then we can go to another JPY pair so that we can make our final bias and understanding of the JPY. So on the monthly, we have an area of structural break here. And this is the Swiss yen. And then we have our high here, all-time high. Then now when we come to the weekly, this is what we want to see. So this is becoming our support area. We want to see how price is going to react around here. So we're waiting for support here. These support areas before maybe price can actually head up all the way up to here. All this time. And then now, that is what we shall be expecting. So we have this break of structure here, and then we have prices coming back to this area. So will this be another area of a pullback to continue to this all-time high, or we shall have a break to continue down? So that's what we shall begin to see. So that's that for a few pairs we're looking at. So don't forget that this week we have new non-farm payroll. So the way the market usually moves, so you need to position your trade very well. So starting from Monday, we have the Swiss CPI coming at 10 a.m. and then going into 5th, where we have Aussie cash rates. And then on to Wednesday, we have the Aussie also GDP. And then we are going to have pound and USD. And then finally on Friday, we are going to round it off with the non-farm employment change and also unemployment rate. So this week is pretty volatile in terms of fundamentals. So you want to position your trade well and risk accordingly. Yeah. So that's what we have for you. Thank you.